YouTube? Is Sensei the place to be? Chill, Troy, Mr. A&D, back to give you guys a long-awaited midweek wrestling review. Can we really call it? I have not watched NXT in so long. I really haven't. But and then when it came to where my job status changed, and honestly, sometimes NXT wasn't being interesting. And at this point, I wasn't even interested in Dynamite like that. But I was like, I have not reviewed a NXT or Dynamite in going back to what I was looking at with my videos in like 3-4 months. I'm like, well, we gotta stop this because Blood and Guts is here. And a lot of this has been happening on Dynamite, and Collision has come into place. I kind of like recapped that on the podcast. But today we're sticking straight on Blood and Guts, AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts. I did hear that Dom took the North American Championship off of Wes Lee, so Judgment Day is packing right now. So I did hear about that, but I had to go back and watch NXT. I did not watch NXT. So, but this is what I want to do. We're going to do a Blood and Guts review here because it's been so long since I talked about AEW in this kind of format, in these kind of discussion kind of videos. I am by myself today. There's no Prime, there's no Q Flow or anything like that. It's just me sitting and talking about Blood and Guts because I thought it was a good episode of Dynamite and I actually want to get back into more of these things with you guys. So they're in the TD, the TD Garden, TD Bank Garden in Boston. There's a 2-ring setup. The one thing about the AEW when they do Blood and Guts, the one thing I do like that WWE does when it comes to the rings, they put that little like steel padding in between them. It kind of like something like to like fasten the rings more together. Where AEW just had like both the rings just pushed together. So I was like, I think it'll be easier to do more bumps and take more bumps if they have that like little steel pad like to kind of like fasten the rings together opposed to just on the 2 separate rings. I'm not sure. I don't wrestle on the rings, so I wouldn't necessarily know. So we're gonna kick off Dynamite with first of all, a lot of things happen tonight because first of all, real quick, the MJF and Adam Cole storyline I'm invested in, and MJF has always been good. Just because I remember when it was him and Jericho doing the tag stuff, and they had interesting skits and stuff like that. So him and Adam Cole have been doing great with that. Then that Blood and Guts match was crazy. There was so many crazy spots that we are going to definitely talk about. I just want to make sure I get that stuff in. Then when we kick off tonight though with the FTW Championship match between Jungle Boy Jack Perry and Hook. So automatically they had the Jungle Boy music playing. The I was thinking like, wait a minute. If Jack Perry going, he's supposed to be a heel now. Why you still got this Jungle Boy music? Well, all I had to do was wait because then we get up on the screen. Jack Perry's in the desert somewhere, and you see he's like dragging a body that has the Jungle Boy boots on. So it's obviously like Jungle Boy. He buries it in a shallow grave, and this limo pulls up and picks him up. It's like that's the end of Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy is gone. He's dead. All these are Jack Perry. So when Jack Perry comes, like when the limo comes and he comes out. The limo doesn't come out, but I'm just saying, when he makes his entrance, he comes out to Beethoven's Symphony No. 5, I believe it is. And I'm just like, okay. But he comes out, like the leather pants, the sunglasses, and the jacket. I'm just like, I'm not saying he got to be all Hunter Hearst Helmsley, but or William Regal when that song is playing. But I don't know, he needs to be more... It's like a work in progress. I don't like that attire and that stern thing does not fit with the theme song. But I know it's like a work in progress. It's the first time they did it, so it's a work in progress. I can completely understand that. So he comes out, then Hook comes out and does his whole entrance. He's sitting in the corner when the camera catches him in the corner. Jungle Boy tries to I'm gonna call Jack Perry tries to attack, right? And Hook moves out the way, and then we get our match going. There's one point in the matchup where Hook gives a suplex to Jungle Boy to the outside, and I think he like clips the cameraman a little bit. A little scary thing going on here. They fight to the outside a little bit, and when they come back in, like we get to the finish. I thought the match was pretty decent with some good near falls. I actually think this was like Hook's best wrestling match since coming in. I mean, he's had a lot of squash matches and a lot of things in tag team matches, but like a singles match, this I think was Hook's best matchup. However, there's like a little fight ensues, but the referee gets knocked down. Hook tries to go and wake up the referee, And Jungle Boy grabs the FTW Championship and hits Hook in the face with it. And then when the referee finally comes to, that's when he counts it. And Jungle Boy wins the FTW Championship with a nice little smirk on his face because he outsmart Hook. Taz is on commentary just angry and pissed off. Obviously his son got screwed over. And Taz is even too angry to talk after that, saying like, hey, look, this ain't over. And I was just like, yo, I like Taz playing up that role and being, upset for his son, because shit, I would be also. But I thought it was a good opening matchup, and having Jack Perry win a championship. Yes, he has a new heel song, new heel entrance, new heel look, and I'm like, he can't come out here and lose. He gotta win. I mean, it was a dirty win, but he gotta win. So obviously the thing between him and Hook is not over. So I think it should be a good rivalry going forward. But if you really want to establish him as his heel and things like that, he's gonna have to probably come out this rivalry, because I don't think he's gonna hurt Hook too bad, and then Hook is gonna be Hook and come out. He already got a cool aura about him, and people are naturally going to like him. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, was up next, going to get some jobber. I forgot what her name was. It didn't last long. She definitely put the claw in her mouth, and it was kind of over. We go to a backstage segment. What's not backstage? It was already pre-recorded segment where Adam Cole was taking MJF out to a Chinese restaurant to try spicy foods. So this is more on the level of them trying to become best friends and trying to coexist and all that kind of stuff like that. And all the other vignettes that they have been showing to the previous weeks, like the last week's one when they was playing AEW Fight Forever, I thought those were really, really good. So they do this one, they eat spicy foods, and then they try to wash it down with water, but it's not water. I forgot what it's bothering me. I forgot what the server said it was, but it didn't make things any better as they were sitting there trying to try spicy foods. But so MJF is still doing his like Hogan impression, because he slammed Big Bill the other week, and it's like, we're in the Silver Dome, brother, or Super Dome, whatever. Hogan be like making fun of him and talks. So let me tell you something, brother, because he did this to slam the Big Bill. They look at the server, and Adam Cole says, you know what he looks like? I forgot who it was. And then they said, let's give him the double clothesline. They end up giving the double clothesline to the server. Which then we go to the back, and we see Adam Cole and MJF. And then he's like, hey, look. Well, that's the best person. I got a surprise for you. So MJF brings out like these matching trunks, right? And Adam Cole says, I got a surprise for you also. And he got matching jackets, baby. So they do that. He said, I got one more surprise for you, but you're going to have to wait. And then everybody's like, hey, come on, don't do me like that. So Danny Garcia and Sammy Guevara come out first. And then MJF comes out. And, they play his music. And then when they go to play that music, he's like, hold on. No, you're dummies. You played my song twice. What's going on? Then they mixed MJF's song and Adam Cole's song in together. And they come out like an old tag team. And the place is going nuts. This is something that has really gotten over. So when you see the eventual turn, it's going to break some hearts, but you already know what's coming, because they got to have a match. But I'm going to tell you what I think should happen, me personally. I know a lot of people are not going to agree with it, but I think it's what I think should happen. So before the match even starts, Danny Garcia and Sammy Guevara try to have some kind of dance off with them, and they start dancing. Like I've seen a meme go around with Sammy Guevara doing a little hip thrust when he comes out. And as soon as the memes were going on, I was like, the first person I thought of was Alex Wright from WCW. I used to watch WCW all the time, and did a little Alex Wright dance and stuff like that. That's the first thing I thought of. So they was out there doing it. Danny Garcia obviously got a little bit more rhythm than Sammy Guevara did, but it was just so stupid. And then Sammy Guevara does a little spin, and that's a little thing like that where he lands on the side on the ground, and then when he has his knee up, then you're going to see he slides his head right in there while with his crotch area. I was just like, why? Why are we doing this? But then MJF like, no, we ain't going to be outdone by the dancing. So MJF go out there and he starts dancing this little spin move on the ground. And then Adam Cole go out there and start giving the heat wave pelvic thrust. I was like, what's happening right now? Why is this even a thing right now? It got a laugh out of me, but I was just like, I don't need to see this anymore. And then they start attacking, then we get the match started. So throughout the matchup, obviously they got to move the double clothesline that they were sitting there trying to build up to. And it's amazing how they build up and get this double clothesline over. It's a fucking double clothesline. Like, seriously. But the one thing I like, though, is that they get knocked outside the ring. Danny Garcia and Sammy Guevara. And then MJF is going to tease like he's going to go dive outside the ring. At first he goes to do it, but then because Adam Cole's like dive, and he doesn't do it. So what I like is Adam Cole goes out there and he super kicks them. Like, you know, I don't like Apollo spots. I don't like them kind of spots, but I like that they were just sitting there like trying to act groggy, waiting for him to do this whole thing. I like Adam Cole went back there, super kicked them up again, and then held the rope like go out there and dive, and MJF dived. And it was a nice dive that went outside the ring, and he was all shocked and all selling it. And then they go back in there, and then they like, hey, double clothesline time. We had to do double clothesline. They do the double clothesline to Danny Garcia, and then they win the matchup. The crowd is going nuts for this. They were really hot in Boston tonight. And after the matchup, Cole has the championship. He's looking at it. MJF grabs it like, hey, what's going on? Push it. They about to start fighting, but then Cole's like, oh, wait, you're the champion. I understand all that. So, you know, so you can kind of clear all this stuff up. Here's the thing. They're going to the finals. I think they should go and face FTR at All In. Now, the question is somebody going to screw somebody over so we can get their match at All Out? That's what I'm kind of concerned about, because obviously you're going to have to build at All In for All Out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going to have to happen. Or they can go to Cena and Shawn Michaels from 2007 approach and have them win the tag team titles and then try to coexist because they got the World Heavyweight Championship there. But I don't care how they do it, which way they're going to do it, as long as they make Adam Cole not stupid. Make him smart. Because everybody that has worked with MJF, from Cody to Chris Jericho, you know, President Pinnacle, like MJF is Wardlow, he's a snake. It's kind of like when you trust Kevin Owens. He's a snake. Okay, and MJF is not going. I mean, they get babyface reaction. They're getting over, but Adam Cole needs to super kick the hell out of MJF. You know he's going to be a heel, but it actually may inadvertently try to make him like a babyface type thing. But Adam Cole should not be blindsided by. I don't think he should be blindsided by MJF because he already smart to know it's coming. Don't get wrapped up into this because it's going to be coming. Now they win the tag team titles. That may make something more, you know, interesting in the storyline, but he got to defend the championship at All Out, and it got to be against Adam Cole. So I can see a screw job happening, but I want it to be Adam Cole screwing MJF and not the other way around. That's how I feel about it. Now it's time for blood and guts. It don't hit the same like War Games, you know what I'm saying? But we got the Elite, or the Elite Gold as they call them, versus the Blackpool Combat Club. So this matchup took up the last hour of the show, which I figured it would. So, starting off is Kenny Omega and Claudio Castagnoli. Good wrestling in the ring. You know, shoulder back toss, back breaks, and all that stuff like that. Next up, Pac is in. So, I like how they showed they come through the back and they came through the side, stuff like that. So, Pac is in next. After Pac, it's Adam Page is in. So, they come down, Adam Page goes in there, it starts going wild on all of them. John Moxley is next, and he brings in the weapons. And then when he comes in there, he got this little burlap sack. So you're like, okay, we're doing the thumbtacks early. It's not thumbtacks. It's glass. It's broken glass. We're at a point where like they zoom in on the glass. Like this, I'm like, yo, did he actually just go out there and break a window and get like this kind of glass? Because it don't have that, it wasn't that sugar glass. It was like kind of like colorful kind of glass. It could have still been sugar glass. Almost like, I don't mind thumbtacks. I don't even mind Lego pieces. I know them Jones hurt, but it's something about the glass. I'm like, I don't get all with the glass. You know, I really just don't get all with the glass. But I know a lot of people do get with the glass. But he pulls the glass out. Nick Jackson is out, and he comes and then he freaks everybody. That he goes and knocks Moxley right on the glass. Moxley takes the first bump on the glass. Knew it was gonna probably happen, right? Then he gets a Hurricane Rana on Cesaro. He gets a Hurricane Rana on Cesaro. I call him Cesaro. I'm sorry. Claudio. And he falls right on the glass. And I was like, oh, man, these glass spots be making my skin crawl. Good action. I can't take away from the action. Good action. But they making my skin crawl. So, and then some more action after the match. And then Nick finally gets knocked on the glass. Kenny Omega is suplex on the guy. It's like everybody, hey, you in this ring, everybody gonna get a little bit of this glass. Wheeler Yuta is out next, then followed by Matt Jackson. Then is out. Then Takeshita comes in with a chair. He comes in, hits Anna Page, and then he goes and clotheslines Kenny Omega. We get that action. Then this when the crazy shit started happening because Moxley pulls out a bit of nails, like a bit of spikes. I'm like, what? Like what is happening with this? And then so it's like a real like bit of spikes here. It's not like no thumbtacks. It's like a bit of spikes. And Moxley takes and slams Kenny Omega right on the bit of spikes. I'm just like, yeah. They even hard to sit back like, my God. And I was just like, ugh. Kota Ibushi is out last. And Kota Ibushi gets the full entrance on the ramp. Wheeler Yuta tries to go up there and beat him up. Kota Ibushi takes down Wheeler Yuta. And then he goes and as he makes his way down, we see that Jon Moxley gets knocked on the bit of spikes. Cody gets in the ring, and they get the action going, and he starts taking out everybody. Jon Moxley gets falls on the bit of spikes, and then Kota Ibushi does a standing moonsault to Jon Moxley on the bit of spikes. That just like it sucked. Moxley's like, I'm just gonna be stuck here and let this pain wear off because that thing is painful. On the outside, Matt Jackson's up there on the ramp fighting Wheeler Yuta, and they fight down the ramp, and then what happens is they go and they start climbing the cage, because now we gotta go climb the cage because AEW's Blood and Guts has a roof on top. So they're on the roof, and then Matt Jackson starts doing his Northern Light suplexes to Wheeler Yuta all the way across the cage. Now, not from the long vertical way, from the short way of those two endpoints. Starts doing it, and then it's like, hey, I'm gonna toss him off now, but then Wheeler Yuta fights back out of it and low blows Matt Jackson. In the ring, Claudio and I'll make sure I get this right. I think it's Claudio and Pac have Nick and Anna Page like in there. They want to do a powerbomb or a power driver. So on top of the cage is Matt Jackson. He has another burlap sack. It's the thumbtacks. So there's like, the little mesh you got. So he pours the thumbtacks from the top of the roof, and it's like raining thumbtacks. It was actually a pretty cool visual. And then as they all hitting the mat, and then that's when Anna Page and Nick Jackson shoulder back toss Claudio and Pac into the tags. I was like, I like that. I actually really, really enjoyed that. I thought that was actually kind of dope. So then we the fans ask for tables. We get tables into the ring. They set up some tables. This table was set up in the middle. I didn't even see the table get set up. Everybody is like on the top rope, and everybody gets like take some superplexes. And I was like, it don't matter where the pile is at. There's been stuff that's flopping all around this ring. So I'm pretty sure you either land on a thumbtack or you land on some glass. But Nick Jackson is on this table set up in the middle of the two rings. And Pac is going, and he's like climbing the interior structure right there in the middle. And he kind of like hurdles himself and does a double foot stop from the top of the cage while inside the cage through the table to Matt Jackson. I thought that was a crazy spot. It looked good. That's what I'm saying about that mesh. I'm just like, I don't know how things react if you don't have that, like the little steel mesh like WWE has in the middle of their rings. But I thought that spot, I was like, that's a creative spot. One of these things, even though things was crazy, they wasn't just doing crap just to do crap. I thought things felt like very, planned down spots in here, and they worked. I actually enjoyed that. We get a Snapdragon. Kenny starts firing up. He gets a Snapdragon on Pac, and Pac right on the glass, and then Pac fights back, and they tries to go for he tries to go for again. Then goes for like a ringside side submission on Kenny Omega. On the other ring, Claudio is doing a big swing onto Matt Jackson. Then goes to try, to do the sharpshooter. We have some more action going on, and at one point, somebody spits like blood to the camera. Like, I was like, that's disgusting. And I was like, didn't y'all rules say no spitting? It didn't matter what the rules said the other day that I went over. They all went the fuck out the window. Okay, that's what it was. They all went out the window. And then now there's some kind of commotion going on between Pac and Claudio, and they start arguing in the ring, like during while all the action's going on. But then Moxley and Yuta come over there like, yo, wait, what's going on? And Pac is just like, you know what? Fuck you. As we said, he gave him the finger, and he wants to get out. He goes into the ring. He gets some bolt cutters. He cuts the lock off and leaves the match. Now I don't know what rules like these new War Games matches had, because sometimes if you leave the ring, you surrendering, which means y'all lose that way. But I mean, you're not gonna be with a hot crowd in Boston in a blood and guts match and have the finish be that. So I know, but Pac just walks off, and I was kind of like, oh, what's going on? After that, Kenny gets in Omega mode and starts V-triggering everybody, and then Adam Page comes in there. Buckshot Larry's to Claudio, and then Willie Uta's in there, and then they get the Buckshot Larry and V-trigger combination of Willie Uta. He just gets it bad. Matt Jackson has the thumbtack sneak, and he just rubbing up against Willie Uta's face, and then they handcuff Moxley, and then also like Doc, I really turned away for a second, and then Don Callis is out there, and then after they handcuff Moxley, Takeshita leaves with Don Callis. I'm like, did something happen? What did I miss? Like, seriously, because I haven't gone back and watched it. Please let me know down in the comments, what did I miss or why Takeshita left the match as well. And then they took a chain out and started choking Willie Uta, and they choked her with a chain. And I think what happened was, because the cameraman didn't pick it up, Moxley gave up for Uta. Is that how it happened? Because I didn't see Uta like tap or give up. He was getting choked out and almost died. Right? So, but one of those things happened. But Bullet Club, the Gold Elite or the Elite Gold win the matchup. And they celebrating their Dakota Ibushi. I thought it was a violent matchup. I enjoy these kind of matches. I enjoy the kind of War Games kind of matches and stuff that they kind of do. I know a lot of people don't always like the hardcore kind of stuff, but when we get like this, the only thing is, when it comes to some of the stuff like this in AEW, it doesn't feel new because they do it often. When you don't do it often and then it comes up and like the amount of blood like that, it makes things feel special. But when you do it like often, it doesn't feel as special. But you know what? We all have opinions. So guys, that was AEW Blood and Guts. I give it a thumbs up show. So you guys can, I asked in the poll what you guys felt the show, and right now the poll is going that, let me check the poll right here. The poll is showing that 71% thought it was an awesome show, 6% good show, 6% okay show, and 16% did not watch. Now once again, it's only 49 views by the time I'm recording this. It'll probably bump up. I do all right on when it comes to asking the different poll questions and stuff. So, but that is my view of AEW Blood and Guts. I'm glad to do the AEW reviews. I'm trying to figure out a more consistent way of doing these reviews for all this wrestling. I got to if I'm gonna have a wrestling channel, I gotta talk about some wrestling, right? So, post your comments down below how you guys enjoy AEW Blood and Guts. Hit the like button. If you guys enjoyed my review, hit the subscribe button for more right here on NC Studios. Once again, it's NC the place to be. Chill, stay in D, and the Nerd Coalition is out.